The daily line will be open today, Thursday, August 10th. The daily line is equivalent to yesterday's point, which has already gone a little lower. Then this form already has preliminary top characteristics and needs a confirmation of a decline or a confirmation of a sideways and then downward decline. Then in 4 hours, it has experienced this rebound and the high point of this rebound has never exceeded 61.8%. Then if it goes down the gun channel, it has fallen below 618. Then, the possibility of going sideways and falling is relatively high, and the coverage rate is relatively high. Then in 30 minutes, we are now conducting a summer channel. If 5 minutes was also yesterday, we were shorting at 1932 at 30 minutes. We were shorting the two resonant trend lines of this trend line. At that time, we were also talking about the shorting point because we were waiting for its pattern to come out. We can't just say that when it is long, he can directly trade one that can be split and placed, that is, 1932 can be placed. In this way, the score will be higher. Then if we trade on the right side, we can wait for it to come out. The one with a top is more characteristic than its top. When we are shorting, it is usually around this point. At that time, we were also talking about this point. The target should be around $10, 8 to $10. Now our lowest point has been gravitated out. Then let's look at this when placing orders today. This 30-minute period is equivalent to a 5-leg decline. So if you wait, maybe today will be a sideways movement or an pullback, a consolidation of the wave, and then there will be subtle changes like now. That is the initial ambition. Then how to do trading today? Today, we first look at the pullback, which means the position of the trend line. Waiting and prevention means that we can go because we will soon have a slow trend. If there is a slow trend and the channel can expand, I can try to go long and reach the trend line, reduce the position and hold the remaining part long. Generally speaking, you can see that the problem with the trend line should not be big. Then as for looking at it, it also depends on the strength behind it at that time. Well, today's sailing hasn't started yet, so let's talk about it first. Then if we encounter a better opportunity in the afternoon, I will share with you the rules for entering the market today. For example, what we are talking about is entering the market. Then, after 30 minutes and 5 minutes, this period is basically over. We don't have to expect it. I have just adjusted the short order and the second order. We don't have to expect it. How much can it fall during the day? Because it will definitely go through a sideways stage. There is a sideways stage here. We have to wait and wait to do the work because this has not played out yet. That is a strong decline. The pattern says that we don't need to hold the position for too long. Then when we come back to 1 minute, if we look at the pullback, you can see that we are already here in 1 minute. During this period of decline, he has already walked out to see it. So here we are actually bullish in the short term for 1 minute. Then you see that this position is also his previous expansion. In fact, I did not do this part. This part means that he did not break through the trend line of this minute. Then, but he has a ground member, that is to say, this is equivalent to Wulong's rise, a channel rise, that is, at a small level, it is a rise, and then the channel expands. It immediately supported it and then quickly rose in this stage, so let's see if its form can be continued in the future. If it can, then it is. If the white card can be continued, we will continue to. This trend line or at the expansion point, try to go short or long and then change. Well, we have a plan to raise our hands, that is, if he. If the short position is still strong and this pattern is broken, then we must continue to go short. There is also a lot of room for short selling. If it remains slow all the way and the long position maintains a strong channel, then we can at least see it. The 30-minute trendline position, the 5-minute trendline position, and then see if it can be broken. There is a high probability that it can be broken, because if the market is slow like this, it has already gone without waves. He is not strong, and his pullback point may be around this position. Then whether to restart the decline, because the possibility of a decline, people are more concerned about the short term. I am like this now. I plan the lineup in this way. Then I will see how the market goes, and then I will check again in the afternoon. For example, here, if the decline restarts, then we will definitely follow the decline. We will control it. We will control it. It is now dominated by short sellers. But in the short term, we can have many methods because there are entry points for us. If there is a complete direct loss at the entry point, for example, a relatively small direct loss, we can definitely try it. Then, for example, our order under 1932 yesterday, then he cannot afford to enter. When you get here, we can re-enter. We can completely re-enter, but sometimes we may get to this position, which is about 30 minutes. Hey, this is the channel expansion point, because he is the middle key of Wulong, and he must expand it. It's not a disadvantage. It doesn't need to expand and then restart. It's difficult to grasp the pullback range. It's actually long and short. There is participation in this long order. Now there is a point of participation. Okay, let's go here first. Don't know if you understand. At that minute, we can now go long and see if it continues. If we can continue to go long, we can then go short and then adjust our position to look at the trendline position. We must follow and strictly follow the market. Don't go too far when moving around. Prejudgment and analysis are based on our own opinions. We can only plan for possible points based on its current trend, such as the current trend this minute. We try not to go into history to do it. Once history is made, you will improve the accuracy. Just take on a bigger analysis. If you think my analysis is fine, then that's fine. Anyway, the transaction is really simple. You just need to be good and as long as possible. But can you just say Gaussian news? In terms of gravity, there are two things to say. I recommend it now. I used to do left car trading and pending order trading. Now, I try to recommend right car trading because wait, it's totally going with the trend. Don't think about it. Are you going against the trend and going against the trend? Your thing is that you just rely on blind guessing, right? Then our forecasting is on the one hand, and the planning is on the other. But we should not overpredict. Let's follow the cue.